The next cell that I want to look at is the sensory neuron, or a nerve cell. Sensory neuron. And you'll hear it being called a nerve cell. So let's start at this end. You have these junctions with the sensory receptors. So for example, if the pin is here, your finger has got sensors on it, and they will connect to these junctions, and then the impulse travels up here. So here is your nerve cell going up. It goes to the cell body there, and then it continues on towards the central nervous system. So don't worry about that. And then it connects with other neurons in the central nervous system. I'll explain that in a second. So there's your cell body, and there's your cell nucleus. So let's label up the parts. So the first part is the junction with sensory receptors, and that's where it starts from. Then the signal proceeds up here, up to the cell body. So we'll label this the cell body. And inside you have the nucleus. And again, you will have the cytoplasm. This part up to here is outside the central nervous system. So let's just pretend that this is your central nervous system. Central nervous system. And all this is in your spine. So just remember that all this bit here. So just try to get a picture of where everything is relative to your spine. Now, around each sensory neuron, you have a cover, like electrical wires do. And this is called the myelin sheath. It's made out of little cells that stop the cell or the impulses short-circuiting. So it's like a plastic cover. So it's like a plastic cover that you have on electrical cables. And each one of these is like a cell. So you've got a nucleus in each one. And these are like a myelin sheath. And it's made of myelin. It's like a fatty substance. Now I want to point out this part. There's the cell body. Any signal going towards the cell body runs along the dendron. So this bit here is the dendron, we're going to keep it simple. So the impulse is running up this way along the dendron. Once it's gone past the cell body and it's going away from the cell body, it's called an axon. Axon is away, so just remember that. Dendron is towards. So quickly to summarize, the sensory neuron also called a nerve cell, has at the start junction with the receptor cells, or with the receptors. Then you have the dendron up to the cell body, which contains the nucleus, and then from there it goes into the central nervous system, which is in the spine, and then forms some more junctions with the other cells, the other neurons. So you have your central nervous system here, and then you have your fatty substance made up of cells covering the outside of the cell, the myelin sheath. All leading up to the central nervous system. And this is the way the impulse travels, the electrical signal. And as it's traveling up to the cell body, it's called the dendron. And from the cell body away, it's called the axon. And that's the direction of the impulse. This part here is the dendron. This part here is the cover, which is the myelin sheath. It's like a fatty substance. And inside that there is your cell body. That there is your nucleus. And inside you have your cytoplasm. And that's the overall structure of the sensory neuron you need to remember. Thank you for watching.